Hey guys, Shrick here. Today's Wednesday, July 22nd. This is my third and final trade for today. This is silver. Now, about a week ago, I got a private message from one of the guys in the group that asked me if I had any strategies for silver. And I was explaining that I don't really trade silver. I look at ES, gold, and crude primarily, as I really understand those three markets, and then I also look at currencies for other strategies that I trade. But today I opened up the silver charts, and when I looked at it, something just stood out to me like a sore thumb. Where before I mark these charts up, when you trade divergence long enough, you can actually just eyeball it without marking charts, but I was seeing just divergence after divergence after divergence in the key areas, which are outside of the overbought and oversold areas, which is these red and green lines down here. So what I did, I was watching it over here, and I was watching where this divergence had completed on this particular candle right there. So watched it come back down, and the 0.7 deviation line was a nice turnaround. It had tested it here, it tested it again there, and it almost tested here. So but this candle right here, this, when it closed here, this is called a bullish engulfing candle, and this is a trigger for not only divergence but for several other different strategies, but I'm gonna just use it for divergence on this particular one here. So when this candle closed here, I went into a futures long contract. I got in at 1470, and I set my stop just below this candle at 1461 there. And if it was because it was a deviation bounce per se, I was looking to take profit up here on the settlement line at 1482. Now there's a few areas of concerns to watch, which was the 50-day simple moving average value area low and point of control. So okay, so I entered here on this candle. It started catching some heat. It caught a lot of heat. And I'm thinking it probably would have gotten stopped out, but because I realized 0.7 deviation was a test, it possibly would have been a re-entry again if it did not close below the 0.7 deviation. But caught a little bit of heat, but it shot right on back up there, and from that point we were just going up. And we broke through the white line, the 50-day moving average. We broke through the pink dotted lines, the value area low, and closed up here. So I'm thinking we're doing pretty good at this spot there. So when we closed here, I moved my stop up to break even. I moved my stop to break even at 1470, and then it was just a matter of just watching, kind of see what happens here. So we got to a point of control, and we started testing this particular area, and then here on the next bar, breached, bam, took profit there at 1482. It shot right on up to value area high, and on this particular bar right here, the 80% rule actually came into effect. Which I wasn't really paying attention to market profile at this particular time, but if I would have been, that would have been more confirmation for me to stay into this trade here. And I'm actually glad it did take. I'm glad I've set my take profit there on settlement. Here you got these pin bars, and also when this bar closed, that this one actually completed another divergence on the outside, on the overbought area. And if I hadn't set a take profit order, and if I wasn't watching it, this thing would have came right back against me again, because here This is another area I would have taken a trade on the short side. Probably on this bar closed. This is a bearish engulfing candle. On this bar closed, and with a slight gap down right there too. So, okay, where we at? But after this trade, I didn't get into anything else here. So, got in at 1470, took profit at 1482. Silver moves. The tick value of silver is the same as ES, I believe, at 1250 a tick. I got to go back and look at it because I don't ever trade it. But just looking at my P&L for today on futures, it put me over my goal. It put me well over my goal today of my profit margin, or my profits for today. So I'm done trading, but this was kind of an interesting thing to look at. So I'm gonna go back and look probably 6 months to a year. So it's going to take me some time to do that. And then I will report any findings that I see. But with proper risk management and any solid strategy, chances are you're going to be okay anyway. You just want to get out if things starts going against you. What's the rule? Cut your losers quickly and let your profits run. And this is a similar idea how this thing works here. So that is this trade, and I will get back with you a little bit later on my findings if it's anything of value. All right, guys, I'll see you later.